Hello everyone. Welcome. I hope everyone is doing great today. So today we're actually going to have three different topics that we are talking about. So we're going to talk about the YouTube censorship slash like the demonetization that's going on, some cancel culture, and dividing and conquering. So those are pretty much going to be the three topics for today, and we're just going to get right into it. So, as everyone knows, how you guys are watching me, on YouTube. YouTube is the biggest platform, for video streaming and all that kind of stuff. As everyone knows, or you should anyways, YouTube is owned by Google Alphabet company, so that's how everything is working. You look at Google and you're like, okay, well, Google is the biggest search engine. If you think about anything else, it's like, what else is there? Bing, many people don't use that. A lot of people do, but not as much as Google. And Google, because of its power, everything that Google has, it has YouTube dominating everything. So YouTube is just allowing themselves to pretty much be like, okay, I'm gonna go write this rule. You don't like it? Oh, well, and the thing about that I get why you have certain rules in place. A lot of it is less for the creator and more for the advertisers. So it's like, if you think about it, you have YouTube who they play ads on everyone's videos, right? So whether you're monetized or not, they play ads. So they even added in a new rule. Well, I guess new-ish. I think it was added like 2 months ago, I want to say. And it was pretty much saying that like people who are not monetized, like my channel, for example, people who are not monetized because they haven't reached the YouTube requirements of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Because you haven't reached that mark, they're like, okay, well, we're going to still put ads on your videos, but we're going to take all the ad revenue from that. So we're not going to allow you to have the ad revenue, even though it's your video, but because you're not monetized, which that's just ridiculous. So, it is what it is at the end of the day. There's not really much you can do about it besides, what was already said, But yeah, they start making these crazy guidelines and, people are like, I don't like it. But what's the alternative for it? People are like, well, I can't really do anything. I can't really go anywhere else. So I have to deal with it. So long story short, YouTube has these crazy guidelines that they've added. And, they're like, of course, like no child harm or anything like that, which is very understandable. But it kind of crosses a different line, if it makes sense, because it's like you're saying no child harm. So they consider videos like if you're reacting to like these kid challenges, like remember when people were doing the what was it called, like Chubby Bunny or something like that, where like, and I never understood it, where people were putting like what was it? People were putting like marshmallows in their mouths. People had the cinnamon challenges. People were eating Tide Pods, which is a detergent. So whatever. Don't understand that. And, taking, a lot of different challenges. Let's just say that challenges. And, a lot of it was the youth doing it. So you had people in middle school, maybe some in elementary, but most like in middle school and high school doing this kind of stuff. And, they would either some would die or some would be close to it, some, escape with their life, whatever. But they have these little things saying that you can't do that. But these videos are available on their platform. So if you react to it, then they're like, it's not like, oh, copyright strike. It's, oh, because you violated our terms of, no child abuse or whatever the case may be. And that's why you're getting, getting the strike against you. But I'm like, something that I really don't understand is like, but this is on your platform. So it's not like I just got this video from, wherever, and I just like pulled it up and was like, here, I'm gonna go and react to it. I'm reacting to what it is that you guys have shown me. I'm reacting to what it is that you guys have put out here for me to see. So I just feel like this: if you don't want people to react to what it is or have any part of what is now restricted in your guidelines, I just feel like maybe you shouldn't be putting it up there to begin with, in all honesty. And also something else that I noticed, it's like a lot of nitpicking that goes on, because you have, I get it, you can't get everyone, but at the same time, I'm seeing that, you know, some people who made their living off of like reaction videos and pranks and this and that and that and the third, which is cool. No hating at all. I get it. You know, you're making your money. You're doing something that is enjoyable to you. At least I will hope so. And cool, you know. But if you look at the guidelines, like pranking and stuff like that is not something that they promote. It's something that's actually frowned upon. It goes against their guidelines. So it's just interesting that you're just like, oh, well, you know, we'll allow these people to slide, but we're not going to allow these people over here to slide. It's very interesting how they nitpick, you know, finger point and all that. But yeah, I mean, like with this whole demonetization thing, what they don't really understand, well, they understand it, you know, but they don't care. From what I'm seeing, because it's like you have a lot of people who are getting demonetized, and you tell people YouTube is a place where you could be in charge of your own life. If you want to make videos about microphones and unboxing technology, then you can do so. If you want to do videos about clothing hauls, then you can do so. If you want to talk about aliens all day, then you can do so. You know, and you can make a living off of it. Hey, quit your job, because you can make a living off of doing what it is that you love, you know? So it's like, okay, well, we have that, but then you turn around and say, oh, but, you know, we're changing rules. So now you can't talk about everything that it is that you want to talk about, or rather do whatever it is that you want to do. So now we're your employer. So now we get to control what happens, and then we'll just essentially like fire you or suspend you. And I mean, this is messing with people's lives. I've watched quite a few videos, and a lot of people are so upset because it's like, you're now saying that my material, my content that I put out is now invaluable because now it's not being monetized. And I mean, you told people, hey, quit your job, because this right here, this platform here is there for you. It's YouTube. It's there for you. It's there for you to create something, you know, for you to form something so you could get the millions and whatever. So you don't have to be struggling making 20 grand a year or something like that. You know, so I find that to be very interesting that they're like, hey, it's free reign. You can do whatever you want. But hey, you guys can't do everything. I don't know. I just find that to be very interesting. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, so what could you have? What is it that you could do that could possibly make it so that the creators have more of the control, you know? Because like I said before, YouTube making those guidelines for their advertisers, not for you. It's not because we want the average Joe who's watching, who's regularly or, you know, on occasion watching YouTube to, you know, feel comfortable. It's not because of that. It's because they're advertisers. Because, and I don't even understand how most of this even, you know, makes any sense with it. But let's say, like for my business, let's say Latrice Limited Socks. I don't want anyone who uses profanity. I don't want anyone who does this. I don't want anyone who makes people laugh too much. I don't want anyone that does this. I don't want anyone that does this. So Latrice Limited Socks. Pick it, you know, pick whatever channels, but put my thing on there. I don't want anyone that does XYZ LMNOP, you know? So then they're like, okay, well, these advertisers don't want that. So now we're going to make it harder for our creators, and we're going to make more guidelines, stricter guidelines and stuff like that. That's the whole reason why they're doing it. It's not because they're they have such a conscience and they're like, I just don't want anyone to be exposed to this. No, it's all because they're advertisers. That's how they make a lot of their money, let's be real. But I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, well, you have this, and what can be done? Because people are fed up, people are tired, people are so tired, they're fed up, and it's like, what can we do? What can actually be done, right? And I thought about it. I was like, well, the thing about it is YouTube, like I said, dominates everything. You look up any video, YouTube usually pops up. So I'm like, well, and everyone's on there too. Like today, I was just looking, and like it was celebrities I didn't even know were on there. They're on there. You have a lot of celebrities. You have all the mainstream media. Yeah, and like anyone you can think of is more than likely on YouTube because they see how much of traffic it gets. But the thing that's lacking is competition. That's really the thing that is lacking is competition. There's nothing else. You have YouTube, and what else? Where else can I watch a video if I wanted to? Nowhere else. You go on Twitter and people link to videos that are on YouTube. You go on Instagram, people link to videos that are on YouTube. It's only YouTube. There's nothing else. So my solution for what I think is that there needs to be competition. And I know some people say, oh, we have Rockfin, we have this, we have that, you got Twitch. Well, even Twitch, I heard, is doing some doing some censoring over there as well. I haven't really been on Twitch like that. I know it's more so for, I've seen a lot of like gaming and stuff like that. But it's like a lot of live streaming that I believe is over there. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I think they have some pre-recorded, but I think it's mostly live stream over there. That's good, but it's not, it's not like YouTube set up over there at Twitch, like how YouTube is. It's very user friendly. If you need anything, it's right there. It's very, very user friendly. You could edit by, filter by date. Like days, if it was from yesterday, 3 days ago, stuff like that. You could do it by day. You could do it by, XYZ, whatever. I looked at a few and I was like, oh, wow. I didn't even know you could do all of that. But there's nothing comparable to it. When you really look, it's like, what else is there? Is it just what else? There's really nothing else. But in order to combat this, there needs to be more competition. Imagine if, all you had for fast food options around the world, all you had was McDonald's or Taco Bell, or it's, off variations and stuff like that. Taco Bell and McDonald's. You'll be like, I don't want that. I'm not in the mood for that. I don't want that. I want to be able to get my stuff from over here. Well, there's none of that. It's just Taco Bell and McDonald's. You pick either one, Or you would be like, well, no, that's some BS. I want something else. So why can't we have something else? Because this is how we get our information. People have cable, but let's be real. A lot of people ain't watching cable like that. So this is how we're getting our information. This is how we're able to spread the word around. How can we do that if the one platform that we're using for it is censoring people? So you're not even getting the full version, getting the watered down version of it. But the thing about it is, it needs to, when I say comparable, it needs to have that following. I'm not saying that it needs to have, 80 billion people or something like that, watching it or something. I'm saying, like, even if we get, 20 million people over there, or has to be a significant amount of people. Okay. We can't just have like 100,000 people over there, or even, I don't even think we have anything that really has a million besides like Twitch, but we can't just have like 100,000 because that means most people are still on YouTube, so we need to have something that's user friendly, that's compatible and everything like that, so that we'll be able to be like, okay, well, they're doing the censoring, let's just hop over here then. I'm gonna just hop over here and I'm gonna do what I was doing over here, and this one not be owned by corporations, rather it be owned by you, it be owned by, people who are fed up with the censoring, this and that and then the third, and then they create their own thing. And boom, That's how it should be. Tech people, whoever knows how to make websites and do the streaming and the RAM and all that stuff, hey, here's a job. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I know a lot of people don't. Other people I know, they don't know how to do that stuff. But if I did, I would definitely be doing that. But yeah, I mean, it just needs to be another platform that we can have, something different, something that's for us. And we could be able to express our opinions, just anything that we have, without it being censored. Now, obviously, we don't want any, child harm, any terrorism, anything that is bad like that. You know what I mean? Like serious problems, like trafficking, or we don't need any of that stuff. That stuff, obviously, there's rules set in place. But just saying, Trump, and it's like, oh, flag. It's like, you know what I mean? Because that's ridiculous. Or you have so many people, and I get it, but you have these robots that are, cutting down people's stream because the video was used because the robot thought that, or the algorithm, whatever, thought that it was, like this, they thought that you were like just showing the video on your channel. Like, for example, if I picked a very popular podcaster or video creator, whatever the case may be, they're thinking I'm showing the entire video and I'm just watching it and calling it mine, as opposed to I'm reacting to it, so, which is actually, there's a difference between the two. Me just being like, yeah, this is mine, even though I'm not in it, but yeah, I mean, it's really gotten out of hand with all the censorship that's been happening, the demonetization that's been happening, and we need something bigger. And not only that, but let's say we can't even get another platform. Let's say people are just not motivated, or they don't care enough to do it, whatever. How can we fix the situation that we currently have with YouTube demonetization, and censorship? One thing you can do is, a possible like strike, really. Not strike like, have them take down people's videos. What I mean is, if you get between, I don't know, 50 to 60 people, not people, but 50 to 60% of like the whole YouTube population, that includes creators and the viewers, I think anyways, if you were to do something like that, where you'll just be like, okay, well, we're gonna, have a nice strike, whatever, and we're gonna not upload any videos for a month for the creators, and the viewers, we're not going to watch any videos for a month. I can almost guarantee you, in my opinion, I feel that, I could see there being a huge turnaround, because then they'll be like, okay, because what's going to happen is, if 50 to 60 people stop watching, stop logging in, get off of YouTube completely, their advertisers are going to get hit, because they're going to be like, okay, it's been a month and 50 to 60% of, let's say, possible revenue or whatever has gone down. So what the heck is going on? And then if, everyone's like, well, unless you change this, and this, we're going to stay off. Let's say you get onto another platform. Let's say everyone just goes over to Twitch or something, and you get onto another platform. Then that, in my opinion, YouTube would be like, okay, well, maybe we're a bit too strict. Maybe we're a bit too, hard on them, because now no one's over here watching our stuff. Now we only have about 50 to 40% people watching it. We have a problem. Our advertisers going to drop off. We're going to lose a lot of money. You know what? Let's just, let's tweak these guidelines a little bit more. How about we take off I'm putting ads on your videos even though you're not even monetized. How about we take off these crazy strikes that we have? How about we do this? How about we do this? And then make it so that it was how YouTube used to be, where it was more about you versus them. I think that would be the better option. In my opinion, I think that would be something that is doable. Granted, like I said, a lot of people get their information from here, but I mean, there are also articles that you can go to. Not everything's in a video form. There's also articles you can go to. You can type in whatever topic it is that you need to look at and whatnot. And I think that would be the better option for that. But yeah, I mean, definitely let me know what you guys think about that, or, you know, how you guys feel about this whole demonetization / censorship. And, you know, let me know. I mean, because I'm really interested in having something different, because I'm so tired of, you know, it's like people are just stepping around things, you know. It's like they're just, so they don't know what they can or can't say. They don't know what they can or can't do. So now it's just like, ooh, I don't know if I could say this. Oh, I don't know, because they may take my, and then I may, if you're making a couple $1,000s a month from YouTube, you know, can you pay your mortgage? Can you pay your rent? Can you eat the next month? You know, can you pay your car the next month? You know, whatever it is, would you be able to do it? Yes or no? You know, and I feel like they have way too much control on people's lives and what it is that people can do, you know, which is, in my opinion, I mean, it's very problematic.